Hello and welcome to another episode of The Art of Kicking Ass Elegantly TV. I'm your host, Michelle Hext. Today is hard to put a label on, but it's going to be a bit of a chat about some observations that I've made just throughout the conversations that I've been having with female entrepreneurs as I get ready to kick off my next mastermind, and some of it may apply to you. So stick around and find out what I've got to ramble about for the next 3 or 4 minutes. Well, today I met with another potential masterminder. I've been doing a fair amount of meetings over the last couple of weeks. My mastermind kicks off in just a few weeks, and I'm, as I say, meeting with female entrepreneurs all the time, just meeting with candidates to see that they're going to be a good fit for the program, that I'm a good fit for them, all that sort of stuff. And what I'm seeing is, and what I'm being reminded of, is the struggle. You know, so many of these women are in struggle, and there's a couple that I've met with that I've seen going around the traps for 5 years, 7 years, 8 years, and they're still where they were, and they're still in the struggle, and they're not getting anywhere. And God, that brings back memories for me. I was there, and I remember that struggle oh so well, and it is soul destroying. And I look now at sort of where things are, and for me, and it's night and day, and it actually wasn't that hard to get here once I got some clarity around some stuff. And I look at these women and just I ask the question today, you've been doing this for so many years. Imagine if you did my program 5 years ago, you did this over 12 months, the things that I'd already mapped out in the conversation. Imagine if you did that for 12 months, where would your business be? And they're like, oh God, so many women, and I was one of them, have tried to do this stuff on their own. They've tried to make something happen without any support. And, most of the time they don't even realize that they could get support, or they think they can't afford it, or, they've heard of great coaches or all that sort of stuff, and they just don't do it. And so they're trying to forge ahead on their own, and they keep hitting these roadblocks, and then they don't know where to turn, and they're not quite comfortable with their brand, but it's such a hassle to rebrand, or they don't know how to do that, so they just don't do it, and they stay stuck. And that's why I stand by my program so much. It's a big investment, and it's an uncomfortable financial sacrifice for the first few months. But once that's out of the way, and there's clarity, and there's purpose, and there's beautiful branding and all the rest of it, there's kind of no stopping. And what I'm seeing as well is these women that hit these roadblocks, we keep going. We hit the roadblock, and then we go, okay, well, that didn't work. What do we do next? And then we work around that, and we keep moving. Whereas on their own, they'd fall by the wayside. So that's probably the first ramble, being reminded of the struggle and just the sadness of that. Because I remember just how soul destroying it was. And, if you're in that struggle, reach out to somebody and get some help. Because it actually doesn't need to be as hard as it's been for you right now. And financially, you may think that you don't have the funds to do it. But honestly, money shows up. When you commit to something, a shift occurs and money starts to show up. I've invested in programs that have been, way outside of budget. I had no idea how I was going to pay for it. No idea at all. But I did. The money just kept showing up, and it did. I look back now and think, don't know how it did or where it came from, but it did. A tax refund would come back, or, I'd have a sale with my programs, and I'd make just enough and all that sort of stuff. So money does show up. And it's so worth investing, whether it's me or anybody else. But if you're on your own and you're in the struggle, reach out and get some help, because that will smooth the path for you and make it a lot easier. The other thing was, I'm now experiencing this level of success where I've been able to put Casey on, and she does a lot of the work. And so, every day I'm waking up, and instead of the usual, I have to do this, I've got to get that done, this should be done, and I should be doing this, and blah, 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 there's a lot of stuff I don't need to do anymore. My job right now is to coach my masterminders and my coaching clients impeccably and be a support for them and create more content when the women, I'm asking, what tutorials do you need me to shoot for you this week? So if they want a tutorial on Facebook, or if they want a tutorial on lead pages, or if they want a tutorial on how to set up their email sequencing, that sort of thing, then that's what I'm doing. That's fun. I love doing that stuff. But as far as, do I need to, do I need to market today? Do I need to cold call today? No, don't need to do any of that. I'm launching in Sydney at the end of the year. I'm currently in the middle of launch for Mastermind 2 in Melbourne. And it's been easy. It's been so easy. And Casey's done most of the work. I've just got to rock up on the day, do the best that I can on that day. Casey's already organised everything. I get there and it's just done, and then I just do what I do best on that day. And then I'm having conversations with those women afterwards. And again, I'm doing what I do best and the stuff that I love to do. Sydney's coming up. We're launching our one-day events in October, November. Casey and I are flying there early next month to go and check out venues and have a look around, which is going to be a lot of fun. And that mastermind's going to start in January. And I don't need to really think about that until I've got to turn up to the events that are running, because we flick the switches on our marketing. Casey takes care of all the details and I just go and do what I need to do. Sounds awesome, is awesome, but I'm uncomfortable because this is the new normal that I need to get accustomed to. What I tend to want to do right now is create something else, do something else, go in a different direction, because I talk about in my mastermind this phase in our business where we're at this scale-up phase, and then what tends to happen is, the challenge that we have at that time is it's not so much boredom, it's just that there's not a huge challenge in front. And so for me, I'm actually having to now look at, well, if I'm not working and I'm not training, what else is there for me to do right now? And so, going for a walk on the beach, driving an hour and a quarter to go for a walk on the beach and taking myself out to lunch and journaling and all that sort of stuff. It was awesome. I came back so invigorated and ready to go. And so now I'm having to become accustomed to, scheduling days where I'm coaching, scheduling days where I'm doing, other stuff, which isn't heaps these days, and scheduling time to just enjoy my life. And it's such a new and different phase for me. And as I say, it's an uncomfortable one. I have moments, and I've had moments in, the past 12 months where I've gone, yeah, I get this. This is cool. But it's a whole new level now. And there's a whole new level of freedom that I have that I haven't had before. And when I say freedom, it's not just about being where I want to be, when I want to be, and that sort of thing. But this mental freedom of, I don't have to hustle. I'm not in the grind anymore. I'm not in the struggle anymore. And it's kind of like, I don't know how this is supposed to feel, And so all I do is just acknowledge that this is what's going on. Go and read the first chapter of The Big Leap again. I only ever need to read the first chapter these days. And it's like, yep, got it. Know exactly where that's coming from. And then, basically have a bit of a talking to myself and say, this is actually okay. I've got to convince myself really that it's okay to relax and enjoy this more relaxed lifestyle, and that it's okay to book lunches with my friends and not work that day and all that sort of stuff. It's interesting. It's not a challenge that I expected. I expected I'd just, be living the dream and it would be come easily to me. But yeah, it's really difficult actually. So it's a good problem to have though. And one that I hope all of you have sometime very, very soon. It's a much better struggle than the one where you don't know how ends are going to meet, or you're working and you're putting so much time and energy into stuff and you're not getting any reward for it. It's a tough, tough gig. So yeah, I've been in both places, and this is a problem I'd rather have over the other one. And you're capable of having this problem too. So of course, I would love you to work with me, and if you want to do some coaching with me, get in touch. If you want to know about any of my upcoming masterminds, get in touch with me about that. But if it's not me, find somebody that is going to resonate with you and is going to be a good support for you, so that you can, instead of being here when you want to be here, help you get there. Instead of being stuck and moving here and then going backwards and then moving a little bit and being stuck and then moving backwards again, helping just push you forward. And when you hit those roadblocks, they push you over that one so you get further and further ahead. So important to have support. It's a tough road. It's a bit of a roller coaster. When it's amazing, it's amazing. When it's bad, it's really shitty and it's soul destroying. You don't want to stay there too long. You want to have that support to keep you going. Anyway, as I promised, that was a bit of a ramble. Hopefully you got something from that. Next week, I promise I'll make it shorter and more on point. But the occasional ramble's not a bad thing, I think. Anyway, have an awesome week. Would love your comments, feedback, and would love you to share if you think it's relevant. Bye for now.